So, here we are. The Formula One Championship is on an absolute knife's edge. We're at the penultimate race, the Qatar Grand Prix, where just one tiny mistake could decide the entire title. And for one driver, the path to glory, it's actually pretty simple.
Yeah, the math couldn't have been simpler for championship leader Lando Norris. A win here in Qatar, and he would clinch his first ever world championship. I mean, can you imagine the pressure? The entire world was watching to see if he could pull it off.
But you know how it is in Formula One. Championships are never won that easily. And that dream scenario for Norris? Well, it started to unravel in the first few absolutely frantic seconds right after the lights went out.
Okay, so let's break down those crucial opening seconds. The initial reaction times are pretty much identical across the board, but the race was really won and lost in that second phase. This is where Verstappen just worked his magic. He perfectly managed his power, got a way cleaner launch, and used that slipstream to just slingshot right past Norris into turn one. I mean, what a masterful and absolutely crucial move.
And look at this. It shows you the immediate consequence perfectly. Lando Norris, the guy who started on pole, finds himself all the way down in third place by the end of the very first lap. Meanwhile, his own teammate, Oscar Piastri, just storms into the lead, while his biggest rival, Max Verstappen, slots right into P2. That's exactly where he needed to be to keep his own championship hopes burning.
So, after that initial shakeup, the race kind of settled into this tense rhythm. But hey, this is motor racing, right? You know chaos is always just around the corner. And sure enough, a mid-race incident was about to throw everyone's strategy completely up in the air.
And then, bam, this happens. A safety car. Just when you thought it was a strategic chess match, a crash further down the field basically flips the whole board over. The race is neutralized, and the championship is suddenly wide open again.
So what happened? It all kicked off with this battle for 9th place. Hülkenberg and Gasly get tangled up on a corner exit. At first, it just looks like a typical racing incident, right? But the consequences? Oh, they were huge. Hülkenberg's out, Gasly's got a puncture, and this is the big one. The safety car comes out, bunching everyone back up and forcing every single team to make a split-second race-defining call.
And right here, this is where the race was totally won and lost. You've got two teams with two completely opposite philosophies. McLaren, who are leading the race, they choose to protect their track position. They're gambling that it'll be too hard for anyone to overtake. Red Bull, on the other hand, they're in P2, and they see an opportunity. They decide to roll the dice. They sacrifice that track position, pit Verstappen for fresh tires, and make a bet that pure raw pace is going to be the winning ticket.
I mean, what a massive gamble, right? Was the advantage of those new tires really going to be enough for Verstappen to fight his way back to the front? Or did McLaren make the right call by just holding on to the lead on track? Okay, so the safety car peels into the pits, and the race restarts with this just electric intensity. Strategy is now a huge piece of the puzzle, and it's all down to the drivers to squeeze every last thousandth of a second out of their cars.
And boy, did they deliver. As soon as the race went green again, Verstappen on his fresh tires and Piastri out front, I mean, these two were just in a league of their own. They were pulling away from everyone else by almost a second a lap. It just shows you how much was on the line.
But while those two were flying, Lando Norris was just on a ragged edge, pushing his older tires way past their limit. And this was the moment. He gets this violent snap over the curb, a heart-stopping slide that was literally millimeters away from a spin. Millimeters away from seeing his championship dream just disappear.
So eventually McLaren had no choice. Their hand was forced. Piastri pitted first, then Norris came in a lap later. The stop itself, lightning quick, just 2.2 seconds, but that was it. The price for staying out under the safety car had been paid. Norris comes back out on fresh tires, but now he has a huge mountain to climb.
And so, this is what it all came down to. In those final, absolutely frantic laps of the race, Lando Norris had to go on this desperate recovery drive just to salvage as many points as he could and keep his title hopes alive.
And wow, did he drive like a man possessed. He fought his way back into the top 5. Then he gets a little bit of luck. Isaac Hajar gets a puncture. A lap later, Kimi Antonelli lets him by, and then a brilliant final overtake seals the deal. I mean, against all odds, Norris somehow clawed his way all the way back to 4th place. That incredible fight back meant that, okay, he didn't win the championship here in Qatar, but he did just enough to make sure the title would be decided in an absolute blockbuster finale at the very last race of the season. All right, so let's look at the final podium. Max Verstappen's strategic gamble paid off, securing him a massive, massive victory. His title rival's teammate, Oscar Piastri, came home in second, keeping his own, slim championship hopes alive, and Carlos Sainz rounded out the podium.
But forget the podium for a second. The most important number of the day? It's this one, 12. Yep, after all of that drama, that is the tiny points gap separating Lando Norris and Max Verstappen heading into the final race. It is just unbelievably close.
And this chart really puts it into perspective. Norris is still holding on to the lead, but Verstappen is breathing right down his neck, just 12 points back. And hey, don't you dare count out Oscar Piastri. He's the mathematical outsider, sure, but he could absolutely play the ultimate spoiler. It's a three-way fight for the biggest prize in all of motorsport.
So, what's the big takeaway here? I think the commentator at the end of the race put it perfectly. Whatever plans you have for next weekend, yeah, you might want to cancel them.
The stage is now set for an absolutely epic winner-take-all showdown in Abu Dhabi. After a whole season of twists and turns, it all comes down to this one last race. And the only question left is, who is going to come out on top?